back inside the AWC here at Centennial College. I'm your host, Danish Jamar. I'm here with producer Liam. We've got another OCAA East Division matchup against the Algonquin Wolves. Centennial tonight is 5-2 on the season, third in the East, and they're currently on a 3-game win streak. They've outscored their opponents 633 to 516. So this team is playing really fast and really physical. Algonquin comes in at 2-5, currently 8th in the East, but they're also coming off of a win. Hungry to climb up on the table. Centennial's momentum, and historically, Algonquin is never an easy matchup. So it's going to be a good one. We'll see you at game time.
Algonquin Wolves from Ottawa. Introducing your starting lineup for the Algonquin Wolves. From Ottawa, Ontario, 5'11" guard, number 3, Shane Brown. From Ottawa, Ontario, 6' guard, number 6, James Teixeira. From Ottawa, Ontario, 6'3" guard, number 7, Albert O'Keefe. From Ottawa, Ontario, 6'3" forward, number 21, Aiden Delani. And running on the roster from Ottawa, Ontario, 6'6" forward, number 31, Hayden Coleman. Behind the bench, head coach Trevor Costello with 29 points. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Introducing your Colts starting lineup. From Scarborough, Ontario, 6'4" guard, number 6, Mateo Gomez. From Scarborough, 6'2" guard, number 7, Jalen Colbert. From Scarborough, a 6'3" guard, number 11, Samuel Wall. From Toronto, a 6'5" forward, number 12, Simon Rickens-Hewitt. And running up the roster from Scarborough, 6'8" forward, number 24, Ryan Brooks. Head coach Jennifer Taylor and sports music. Colts Nation! Set up! That's right!
All right, we are back in the AWC for the Algonquin Wolves and Centennial Colts as Algonquin wins the tip-off. Fast pace right to the center. Offensive rebound, the Wolves. Center goes in hard. Kicks it out for the 3, mid-range, and it connects. The beauty of a jumper by Pierre Jamal. Also goes by PJ. Here comes Jalen. Pass to Ryan gets deflected. Ryan looking for an opening. Kicks it in, up for the acrobatic layup and gets it a goal. That is Mateo Spencer Gomez. Out here is Brown. Makes a dribble move. PJ looking for the options. Crossover, but gets blocked. Another deflection by PJ. Here comes James Teixeira getting hounded on the point by Jalen. Quick mid-range, airballs it. It's Simon for the rebound. Simon takes a step, takes the shot, just hits the back of the iron. Here comes Brown to Teixeira. Kicks it out, a turnover. Ryan passes it up, and it's good to Samuel Wong. They're getting double teamed on the wing, kicks it out. That's Teixeira, just a bit long on the iron side of the rim, gets fouled up. Going to be a blocking foul, I believe. Sorry, a reaching foul. Simon picks up the foul. Getting posted up is Ryan in the paint, but just collects the rebound. Here comes Ryan. Big frame, just takes it right to the rim, but just gets absolutely blocked by Holder. Holder, a big body, 6'6" forward from Ottawa, Ontario, so not a lot of space given down low in the paint. Here's Ryan again, quick shot, and it's good. Look at that instant replay right here, catches it. Quick. Brown making some dribble moves, but getting double teamed, chased, but still makes the layup. What a beautiful layup by Brown. Now Samuel Wong just dribbling it up, looking for some options. Takes it to the rim, but just, I believe it was a kick ball, but a fast transition. Gets fouled. A transition foul.
That
was a foul. 2 on the home team already, so you want them to stay out of foul trouble. Here's Albert. Albert looking for options. Up for the layup. Blocking foul. That's Teixeira just taking it right to the rim. Just gets the blocking foul. The Colts get the blocking foul. That's going to be some free throws for Teixeira. There he goes. First one is good. Some players to watch out. Ryan Frank Brooks. You know, he's very, very dangerous down low. As I say that, gets the rebound. Here comes Wong. Looking for options. Kicks it to O'Neal. O'Neal gets that one to go. Here's Brown. Directing traffic. Sends it off to Teixeira. He also is getting hounded. Brown, nice dribble move, step in, and offensive foul. So it was a great try. Sorry, it was a blocking foul. It's an and one. So Brown will be going to the line. Ooh, just an in and out, but gets it to go. O'Neal sends it off to Jalen. O'Neal down low, just bodies his way, but throws it a bit long. It's going to be a turnover for the Colts. It's going to be here comes Josh Naughton. Noton, sorry. Makes a dribble move. Just the hounding defense by the Colts is just giving the Wolves a lot of problems here. And here's Brown trying to make a move. Makes a quick move. Just a bit shy. O'Neal got hacked a little bit there. Sends it along to the wing. Tray ball. And it's just a bit long. Flexing is the Wolves. Up for the layup, and it's good. That is Albert. Albert gets it to go, and the Colts are struggling in the foul side. 4 fouls against and none for them. Up for the layup, and that should have been a foul. It looked like there was some contact there. Touched by the Colts player, and that is Josh. Tips it out. So it will remain Wolves ball. Score is 10-8 for the visitors. Here inbounding is Albert. Albert, jump shot, good. Makes a beautiful jumper. Right on the wing, wide open. It was a nice give and go. Here comes Josh. Wong for 3. Just short. Offensive rebound attempt, but the Wolves gather it through. Transition play here. Step back. Here's Frank just directing traffic, kind of isoing it up, but the Colts don't want any of that and to just call a double team. Sends it off in the middle of the paint. That was long to Holder. Would have been an easy basket. But this is going the other way to the Colts. Josh slowing things down. It's been a very fast-paced game thus far. Behind the back. Into O'Neal, but just kind of scrambled on him. Nice move. Up for Holder, and he just gets it to go. Here's Josh. He's going to slow things a bit down. Behind the back. Wants things to be a bit more organized. It's been a bit messy for both sides. Ryan for 3. Hit the back of the iron. Here comes Albert. Albert getting pressure from behind. Makes the smooth layup. But the Colts have seen enough. Trailing 16-8. So they're going to talk things over. We will be back after this short timeout. Back after this timeout as Joshua brings it up. I'm sure the foul talk was probably one of the biggest priorities in the conversation. Here's Wong. Makes a nice move, steps in, up for the layup, and just powers his way through for a beautiful layup. Let's look at that replay. Just takes it right to the rim. Here for 3, the Wolves. Long, and he's just getting hounded by Holder from behind, but Sudani just keeps his composure and just boxes him out. Wong makes the move in for the layup, but there's like 3 people inside. Gets the foul call. That would be the first foul that the Wolves have committed. So Wong will be going to the line for 2 attempts. First attempt, just a bit short, just bounces a couple times. Sure, He'll be more prepared on the second attempt. Beautiful shot. Sam Wong, defensive impact and transition playmaking. One of the best at this for the Colts. So you know Coach Chester Taylor is going to want to keep him in. And as I say that, a quick play by the Wolves. Deep three. And the offensive rebound just piling up. For the Wolves, another three. Teixeira gets it a go. Here's Josh looking for a play to make, but getting defended by Aiden. Here's O'Neal, right to the rim. Let's look at that replay. Just a nice pass that just lofts over the defender, and O'Neal just puts it right in. Step back. Wow, what a beauty of a shot by Albert. Just took a step back, opened up some space. Here's Wong out to Joshua. Joshua back to Wong. Open shot, just right to on the right side of the rim. Aiden getting pressured. Here's Teixeira again, making some nice dribble moves. Aiden. Here's Albert. Slowing things down, gets around the defender. Pull up J. Foul on Albert.
Fouls on number 7.
So it will be Colts ball. So the next foul for the Colts puts the Wolves in the bonus. So, you know, they're going to maybe slack a little bit on defense, but here comes the Colts going off with the layup. It's Sudani. Let's look at that replay. Just takes it hard to Holder, and will take 2 attempts at the line. Here's Sudani. Gets it to go. First one is good to go. Sudani, 6'7", from Scarborough. Big forward for the Colts. So the height is actually a big thing for both teams. You know, no one under 6 foot. That's like the standard for varsity. The ref didn't like something there, a foul call. The Wolves will inbound it. It will be Albert. Albert looking for some options. Looking. Gets it in to Aiden. Here comes Albert. Dribble move, fade away. And it's just a swish. So, the Colts got to play better perimeter defense. A lot of shots have been going there, not from the point. So, going to have to switch their options. Here comes the Colts. Joshua for 3. And Sudani off for the layup. Offensive rebound. What a beautiful board by Sudani. Let's look at that. The ball just goes long, bounces over to Sudani. Takes a nice step, gets it in. And on the other side, defensive rebound. Here comes the Colts. Up for the layup. Offensive rebound. O'Neal just tips it back in. That's the Colts type of offense and defense we like to see that we just didn't see early on in the game, but it's starting to pick up. And the first quarter, the perimeter defense has been the talk of the first quarter. Here, Teixeira makes a move, and better job by the Colts. Here is Darius pleading his case, and it's not gonna go his way. Argued that out of bounds call, but it kind of looks like the ref doesn't care. Colts inbounded in. Here's Joshua. taking his time. There's no shot clock, so he can just drain this out. Pick whatever play he wants, directing traffic to O'Neal. Here's Mateo on the side. Takes a deep three and gets it a goal. Just look at that instant replay. Just made some space and just shoots a beautiful jumper right over Aiden. And the visitors are leading by 1 point, 23-22. 4 fouls on the Colts, but they changed it around near the end of the first quarter. And I'm sure the talk is going to be of what they did at the end of the first quarter. So look for them to keep this up, and we will be back at the start of the second quarter.
I got some rest and I was still got no passing the real call and give it go. Keep it back in the figure phone. Let me go on go. Let me back get some big for this skinny clothes. I might put me in here, some bitch you want. And the braid, this nigga is like getting low. I spent 500 racks on the number one, didn't even know how to make it go. On my birthday, I just wanna look at those benefits, but don't make me period. You followed behind for years. In the road trip, I feel like a tourist. On the one from the bottom, I'm so like my partner. It's a guy in the beard. Oh, he ain't look. I was rising on none of us. He can't put on that drip, he ain't one of us. How you run in the bins of the total truck? How you got everybody get fucking up? Oh, she bad with no swag, I'm type of her. They got next one, next one, I'm walking up. Count the money, I feel like I'm talking some. I'm the type of nigga that make me never run. You do the money, that's getting up. And the only thing I make you can get it up. Oh, they like that, I keep me a hundred up. I'm doing that, they keep on me getting up. Cause it's Christmas, I'm on everybody. Smoke lots of chocolates and everything for everyone.
You're back for the start of the second quarter, and the Colts made a nice push. You know, they were down by like 9 points, I would want to say, but a great comeback. Just fixed their defense on the perimeter, made some shots. Give and go, but the Wolves read it really well, actually. Here is Frank Thomas, fresh off the bench. Aiden passes it down to the center. Sudani, just a huge man, just smothers him. Triple teamed, right to the paint, takes the charge, but he was inside the restricted line, so it wouldn't count as a charge. Let's look at that. Oh! I think his feet might have touched the line. I don't know what the ruling is on that, but I think both of the feet have to be in front. So great attempt by the Colts, but just a bit short. So here is Gezin. Gezin on his second attempt. Makes the second one, so goes 1 for 2. Here comes the Colts. Up for the layup, but Mateo just doesn't get it to go. Here is not Jalen. It's Albert. Fakes the pass. Brown. The Wolves just playing a really fast-paced game, but the Colts are just keeping up. Here comes Joshua. Gets fouled up on the play, so there will be a stoppage right now. And that's 1 foul on the Colts and 1 for the visitors. Here's Darius. Inbounds it to O'Neal. O'Neal for three. Ryan big bodies him and just gets the rebound, puts it in. One of the Colts' best players. Absolutely finds a way to get it to go. Here's Brown. Brown. Between the legs, behind the back. Out to Albert. Albert left, right. Looking for options. Dribble move. And the perimeter just completely blocked off. So great job by the Colts. Here's Brown. Just gets absolutely fouled on his way in. It was a bit of a late call. I seen, I don't know if he was in the shooting attempt, but the refs say otherwise. So Brown will be going to the line for 2 attempts. Got hacked on his way in. So O'Neal picks up the foul. Brown misses the second one. Ryan collects the rebound. Fast play, Joshua. Lob City! Gets it up. Beautiful lob. And Mateo gets it to go. Here's Brown. Dribble move. Frank. Aiden misses it. Here comes Ryan. Wants the three. Just doesn't get it to go. So here comes Brown. Behind the back. Here's Albert. Albert wants a pick. But the defense by the Colts, like the perimeter, they're forcing the Wolves to shoot from the key. And that's the type of shot you got to take. Travel. So just absolutely a turnaround of defensive events for the Colts. The Wolves want to readjust because they just can't really find anything. And the Colts are just going to have to keep on doing the same thing they've just been doing over and over again. So we will be back in 45 seconds after this timeout. We are back after this timeout. So Joshua down to O'Neal, just a misread. So they're just communicating things over. It was intended for Ryan, but Ryan didn't see the pass. So a turnover by the Colts. Here comes the Wolves. Teixeira lobs it up to Holder. Ryan gets poked in the eye. Ref didn't see it, I'm assuming. O'Neal down to Joshua. Getting double teamed. Kicks it out in the corner. Is Darius. O'Neal. Great defense by Algonquin. Joshua making a move. Just throws it up. That was a beautiful defense by the Wolves. Didn't give the Colts much option. Here comes the Wolves. Off for the layup with Frank Thomas. So Thomas will be going to the line, shooting 2. Misses the first one. A bit long on the free throw. O'Neal picks up another foul, so Coach Chester Taylor is going to be keeping an eye on that. And Thomas goes 1 for 2 on the line. Darius inbounds it in. Here's Joshua looking. Dribbling. Down to Ryan. It was a dangerous pass, but it gets deflected back. And Joshua goes down. Gets fouled on the layup attempt. And will be shooting 2. So, foul trouble sneaking up a little on the Colts. 3 fouls to 2. 6 minutes, 17 seconds into the second quarter. So Joshua makes good of the first. Score is 28-26. Here's Frank. Frank Thomas accelerates through, up for the layup, and just not a lot of defensive coverage after that blow by. Joshua looking for options, finds Ryan, just threads that needle through and gets the layup. So great eye by Joshua. Here's Teixeira. Out for Brown. And now it's going to just be a center versus center matchup, and the Colts just absolutely dominate that. Darius off for the attempt, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Let's look at that again. Darius Euro stepped. Ooh, it looked like kind of leaned into it almost. But it's the ref's call, and it does go the Wolves' way. Here's Aiden checking back into the game. Frank getting pressured. Getting pressured by Mateo. Joshua on Brown. This is the defense we like to see, and that perimeter defense is still being very effective for the Colts. Kind of bounced off a couple people there, but goes the Wolves' direction. 14 seconds on the shot attempt. An alley-oop attempt to Holder that no one's seen coming, and gets it to go. So the score is all tied up, 30 all. Joshua finding some space, screened by Ryan. Double team, 3-point attempt by Mateo, and it is absolute water. So a bit too aggressive by the Wolves, just leaves Mateo open, and he doesn't miss much of those. Bounce pass. A 3 attempt from the Wolves. I don't know if that was a travel or it was a foul. I think it was holding on the screen. But regardless, Colts ball. It's going to be O'Neal to Darius. Darius looking for some options. Back to Darius from Mateo. 2 people into the paint, and I didn't even know who the ball got pushed out by. A lot of hands and fingers pushing the ball. A lot of argument of who has the ball, but ref says Colts ball. So O'Neal looking for some options. Sends it under the rim to Ryan. He just makes a spin move. Gets called for the travel. With a nice pass right underneath the rim. Kind of wanted to go around, and just too many steps. Frank. Accelerating through. Kicks it out. Top of the key. Isn't good enough for Albert. Here comes the Colts. Mateo. And one layup for Mateo. So Mateo gets that one to go. The screen was there, but just dodges it completely. And we'll go for the 3-point attempt. Or 3-point conversion, actually. And makes good of it. So here are the Wolves looking for a bucket, you know. They haven't had one in a while. And as I say that, a block by the Colts. Here comes Darius and slams it home. Let's look at that. Just blocks it and slams it down. What a beautiful play by Darius. Perimeter defense coming the Colts way, and now they're trying to pile up on this lead. Here's Joshua. Threads it down. In the paint is O'Neal. What a pass by Joshua. O'Neal just hanging around in the paint. And here's Gezim. Albert. Between the legs. Back to Gezim. Brown fakes the three. Spin around. Fade away. Long on the iron. A football pass to Ryan. Thought I was just watching the Buffalo Bills for a second, but that pass is a bit too long. A timeout has been called, so we will be back to finish this second quarter in a few minutes. We are back after the timeout. So a lot of things for the Wolves to talk about. Here's Albert looking for some options. Albert makes a move, but Joshua just sticking with him. Nowhere to go. Here comes Mateo going for the slam and gets it through. And here's Teixeira trying to slow things down. Not a lot of points. Oh, just gets absolutely blocked by Darius. Here comes Mateo. Up for the windmill layup. And almost a circus show going out here. Aiden blows the layup. So here comes Mateo again. And he's going to make good of this one. He went for the acrobatic windmill layup the first time. Almost looked like he got fouled there, but gets the second chance. And the Wolves are really struggling right now. Just turnover after turnover. And the Colts are just throwing alley-oops, layups, dunks. So not a lot of points by the Wolves. You know, it was tied up 30-30 at one point. So 16-0 in points differential when the game was tied 30-30. So a 16-0 run for the Colts. You know, head coach Chester Taylor is proud of what is happening. And these may be the first points for the Wolves in quite a while. And Thomas makes good of the first one. Thomas just a bit long, but ref calls the whistle. I think someone may have left the line a bit too early. Not sure why. Gets another attempt. I believe it should have been a throw-in, but makes good of the second one. Not sure what that was, but here's Joshua dictating the offense. Passes it off to O'Neal. O'Neal backs down, fade away, and just silky smooth gets it down to go. Whoa, nice behind the back move by Thomas. Looking for some options. Blocked. Here comes the Colts. And not going to go the Wolves' way. A lot of turnovers, and Simon isn't going to make a lot of mistakes about that. He's going to go to the line, shoot two. The lead, it looked like for a moment that the Wolves might slip away with the game in the first quarter, almost winning by 10 points, but near the end of the first, the Colts just turned things around and they have been in cruise control ever since. Here's Simon. Goes 1 for 2 on the free throw attempts. So some substitutions being made. Here comes Aryan. Another turnover. So here's Darius. He's gonna take his time. 13 seconds. Separating the shot clock. Here's Joshua. Gets fouled on the attempt. Let's look at that again. O'Neal was just dribbling it. Steps. Oh, yeah. Steps in his shooting lane. So you cannot do that. You cannot step where the landing spot of the shooter is. It's a guaranteed automatic foul. So just a bit too close was the Wolves. But regardless of that, Joshua will be shooting 3. So both teams in the bonus, but it wouldn't really matter because we have 27 seconds left, 3.1 seconds separating the shot clock. So we may see 2 possessions out of this. So Joshua gets the home rim bounce. Going 2 for 3. Sudani just flies in, kicks it out. No, doesn't want to take that. I don't know what's going on with the shot clock. The shot clock is not where it is supposed to be. Here comes the Wolves. This ball is just bouncing everywhere. Sudani dives in, the Wolves dive in, and 51-32 is the Colts. A lot of players have just been effective thus far, and for the Wolves, it's the turnovers that have been costing them. You know, a lot of transition plays worked in the first quarter, but just hasn't been effective. Players like Ryan and Darius just making the most out of that. And 51-32 for the home team. And we're at halftime for the youth scrimmage, and we will be back at the third quarter.
All right, guys. Okay. It's going to be green ball. All right, let's see it. Team Iconic, green versus white. Full court basketball here. Oh, nice jumper, one goal. They get the rebound ball. Kicks it out. Nice little fake there in the lane. Big time block. So we keep going on. Oh, no. It looks like it's going to be out of bounds. Out of bounds. Hold up there. Hold up. Hold up. Out of bounds. White ball. All right, 4-on-4 action. All right, into the lane. Throws it up. Won't go. All right, Team Iconic, let's go. Reset it. It's going to be an inbound. All right, let's see it. Here we go. Oh, you want it? No. Ball pressure. Move it. Find the open man. There you go. Nice feed into the lane. Yeah, get it to go. Keep going. Kick out. Round one. Sets it up. Take through. Oh, he's got someone. Basket! Big time basket! There you go! 2-3. Nice. Find the open man. There you go. Kick it around. He's got someone. Throw it up. So good. Another shot. Oh, he kicked it out. Rebound. Can't get it to go. Good box up and has it contested. Oh, turnover. They keep on going. There you go. Find your open man. Pull up. Don't go. That rebound in. Look it up again. Not good. Got a bad break the other one out of the way. Oh, nice little wraparound. Keep it connected. Won't go. Nice box out. All right, guys. Spread it out. There you go. Find your teammate. Good pass. There you go. This could be a turnover. It's going to go the other way. Green making their way down the court. Pulls it up. Coming out of the foul. All right, so we're going to have free throws here. Let's see it. Won't get the first one to go. Rebounded on the floor, on the ground. Hits the deck. We'd love to see it. All right. We've got a jump ball. It's going to be white ball. got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Finish strong, boys. Finish strong. All right. Moving around. You've got an open teammate. There you go. Pull up. One go. Rebounds free. Nice kick out. And we're going to have a foul. And we'll do white ball. All right, 40 seconds. 40 seconds. All right. Maybe one, maybe two more plays. Let's see it. Team Iconic. And we'll have a foul. On right. The home of your Centennial Wolves. One more. All right, make some noise for Team Iconic. Well done. All right, all you.
Turn up your shoulder, you gotta get back. Turn up your
So we are back for the third quarter as the Colts are winning 51-32. Here's Aiden to Brown. Finds the gap. Fadeaway shot. Just a bit long. Here comes Holder. Aiden. Thomas. A very steep fadeaway, but doesn't go his way. Here are the Colts in transition. Ryan threads the pass through, and it's going to be Simon taking it all the way. Here's Brown powering his way through. Holder gets 2 attempts, makes good of the second one. Head coach Chester Taylor not too happy about those chances that the centerman is getting. Here's Ryan. Passes off to Mateo. Bounce pass. Threads it through Simon again, but Holder is there to cut it off. So here's Brown. Euro step. Under the rim. Aiden offensive rebound. A foul, I believe. A very late stoppage. It looked like the Wolves kicked it out and were going to attempt a 3 possibly, but regardless of the fact, Albert to Brown. Albert coming in. Getting defended by 2 people down low, kicks it out, and Albert makes good on the 3. So here are the Colts. And that's Samuel Long. Passes it down to Ryan. Here's Simon. Takes a step in for the almost free throw shot, but gets the offensive rebound. Wong steps through. Kicks it out to Mateo. Wong. Mateo. Deep 3. Just a bit. Powered that too much. Albert thought about the 3 twice. Kicks it out. Brown. Dribble move. Getting hounded by 2 players. Albert. Step back 3. And just Simon just cuts off the shooting lane. Steps through. Wong. Sets up for the 3. And it's good. Albert. Teixeira getting absolutely smothered by Jalen. Holder. Aiden getting that, but you hear head coach screaming, box out. Colts having trouble inbounding the ball. Not sure what's going on that side of the inbounding, and a full court press by the Wolves a little change of things right here. So here's Jalen. Has Brown defending him. Double team came. Brown. Nice defensive play. Ooh, that was kind of pushed him there. So is pleading the case of a reach-in foul on the shooting, possibly on the shooting attempt, but it just doesn't go his way. Behind the back, Wong. Jalen to Mateo. Head coach Trevor Castello wasn't too happy about that. So Brown, Aiden, Albert, Holder kicks it out, and the tip doesn't go his way. And Ryan talking about getting held by Holder, but looked like it was out for a second, but it was just a super late call. And it was actually called by the ref on the other side. So Holder, Albert. Bounce passes it through, a dangerous pass. I'm not sure what the call is going to be here now. Maybe a kick ball? It looks like it was a kick ball, so game moving a bit slower in the third. Here comes the Colts. Nice acrobatic layup by Mateo. Goes left, right, and just goes, gets to the goal right off the backboard off of a soft touch. Here's Albert with Simon all over him. Beautiful cutoff by Mateo, and he's going back again. Makes 2 points again, so that's 4 points for him within 15 seconds. Mateo makes great use of his chances off the turnover, and a putback dunk attempt by Holder, but it gets cut off. Let's look at that again. Thomas going to the lane and tries to go for the dunk, but Mateo is there to cut it off, so it's been all Mateo in these last few plays. So Holder will go to the line, shoot two. Misses the first one. Misses the second one. So here's Mateo again. Jalen practically begging for the ball. Simon wanted to meet Holder at the top, and Holder accepted. Just met him there and just swatted it. You know, the crowd wanted to see a poster dunk there. So it's Ryan versus Holder. Ryan just absolutely gets bully balled by Holder. Holder just a huge body. Here's Wong with Holder defending him. Jalen just pushes off, and you can't extend the arm right there. So let's look at that. Yeah, you can shield yourself, but extending that arm is an offensive foul. So a great read by the referee there. Can't really push off, but a really good game thus far by Jalen and the rest of the Colts. A substitution coming in. O'Neal coming into the game as Ryan sits out. Looked like the Wolves had a little bit of trouble getting hacked at the top of the key. Was Albert, so 3 fouls forced from the Colts. Doesn't look like they are going to be in foul trouble. Holder gets the ball, and not much you can do there. Holder's on the ground, and jump ball. He doesn't risk looking for the pass, just corrals it in, and knows it's not going to be a jump ball, but it's possession. So you automatically know that the next time you're going to have to force to make a pass when you're on the ground. Not this time. Oh, my apologies. It is actually the Colts ball. So Holder should have made the pass. I think we both got confused there. It's really hard to keep track of these possessions when a jump ball is awarded. So here's Mateo going to the rim. Sorry, it was O'Neal going right around the perimeter. Lays it up with the right hand. Spin around. Thomas, but Simon just swats it away. Leo, alley-oop. Simon wanted that. They're having fun out here. These boys are having fun. Albert can't get around Simon. He moves really well. Here's Wong. Not much places to go. Everybody's just falling all over the place. Albert, 3. Gets his own rebound. Lays it up. Is Albert. So a bit of a messy play there, but goes the Wolves' way. Here's O'Neal and Holder. You're not getting around him. He's a huge guy. Wong sets and shoots. Doesn't miss much of those. A misread by the Wolves. You don't want to let a guy like Wong just wide open in his sweet spot. Just put it right in his wheelhouse and just made them pay.
Substitution for the Colts entering game number 3, Josh Locke. Also entering the game for the Algonquin Wolves, Peter.
So another foul for the Colts will put the Wolves in the bonus, so they will be shooting automatically awarded 2 free throws. And as I say that, a 50-50 ball. Albert is blocked by Simon. Simon's just been very, very defensively sound. O'Neal taking his time. Joshua, who just checked into the game, so you know he's fresh. Wong, another 3? And that was absolute water. It didn't even look like it went through. It was better than a swish, honestly. Right dead center of the rim. So Wong is on fire. You don't want to leave that and leave him open. Albert looking for some options. A 3 from Thomas and just way wide. Simon coming in, but gets fouled in transition.
Foul number 12.
Here's Joshua looking for some options. Finds O'Neal, who just bodies his way through. Another 3 by Wong. He just doesn't know how to miss. It's just absolute automatic from the 3. So we might see a heat check by him. As I say that, Brown comes in. Here's Wong. He's just calling for the ball. And you know he's just going to shoot a 3. Oh, heat check. You didn't have to be very smart to know that Wong was going to shoot the 3 after making, I believe, 4 consecutive. O'Neal. Great defense by the Wolves. Brown loses the ball behind him, collects it back. As O'Neal's slow to get back into the play. Aiden, bounce pass. Makes good of it is Gizem. Makes good of the play. Simon. Mateo. Josh, 3. Just a bit too deep on the 3 ball. That's all right. Here comes Thomas. Throws it to Aiden. Brown, 3. Makes real good of that. So here comes Josh. Breaking right through the middle. The basket will count. It looked like, I don't know. Could have gone either way. Let's check that out. Oh, yeah, that was definitely a moving screen. And he was inside the restricted zone. So no chance of that being called an offensive foul. So it will be Joshua making a 3-point conversion possible. And just bounces off the left side of the rim. So here comes Thomas. Splits the defense, goes up for the layup, just goes in and out. Gets fouled into the play with number 8 on the Wolves, who is Hackshaw. So a quick regroup as Hackshaw shoots the free throw. Misses the first one, but will be taking his second one. As the Colts talking to the referee about some concerns, possibly. Hackshaw shooting his second free throw. Goes 1 for 2. And one more, I'm not sure. But here he goes for the third one. So here come the Colts after those free throws, leading 73-47 in the third quarter with 17 seconds remaining on the clock. So it will likely be the last possession, but you know, the Colts, if they have an opportunity, they might release it before, but it's not going to look like it. Here's Wong, fakes the 3, goes for the shot, and absolute water. Wong just doesn't know how to miss. Let's look at that replay. Fakes the shot, shoots the 3, and gets the buzzer. So that's the end of the third quarter. The Colts leading by a big margin. We will be back shortly in 1 minute and 40 seconds for the start of the first quarter. back for the fourth quarter as the Colts set the tone. Brown. Looking for Thomas. Mateo just dives for his sliding. Here's Simon, kicks it out. Wong, a three. Oh boy, does he not miss. Not sure what's going on with these late calls.
Technical foul.
So a technical on Mateo for, I believe, screaming in the opponent's face. Not what we like to see. So hopefully some better sportsmanship. Mateo has had a very good game, very effective player for the Colts. Holder, sorry, that's not a holder. Up is O'Neal. Powers his way through, ball just bouncing everywhere. O'Neal spins around. Gets hacked up. And they didn't count it. Shouldn't have been counted anyway, but we just gotta add the extra tone to it. So they might have to quadruple team Wong because he just hasn't known how to miss the whole night. They gotta respect that shot of his.
Excuse me.
So, referees just gathering through. Players just talking. It's going to be an inbound play by O'Neal. Here's O'Neal. Cuts in through is Mateo. Mateo, he's good at that. So I'm not sure what the head coach for Algonquin is doing on the court. Josh for three. Bang. This is it being, lead is just getting a bit out of hand. Robert Thomas. Sorry, not Robert Thomas. I'm not watching Seneca soccer. It's Frank Thomas. No, Robert Thomas is the hockey player, so I'm getting a bit confused. But it was Frank Thomas. 34-point lead by the Colts. So here is Brown dribbling it up as Mateo defends him, switches. Wong. Here's number 8, PJ. For three. Hey, it's good. That is Teixeira. A timeout has been called. So both teams just going to reassess their group with the last few minutes of, the last 8 minutes and 20 seconds, 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and we'll be back in 45 seconds after this timeout. gets the foul call on Joshua. And head coach Trevor Castello not happy with the foul that Brown just gave. So here's O'Neal making a move. Just throws the ball long. Here's Brown. Takes it up. And that should have been goaltending. Simon slams it home. Trevor Castello not happy with that. I mean, he did go for the layup, and the backboard got smacked, so it didn't go in. As the backboard was shaking, so a great argument to be made for head coach Trevor for the Wolves. But that play is done and over with. But here is the Colts on the offensive side of things. Joshua. Wong sets. Another three. Ooh. Just a bit shy, but you know he's never going to miss more of those. Deep three, and it's good. Thomas. Sorry, that was Albert. Albert making good of that. Here comes the Wolves. Here comes Thomas again. But it's going to be out of bounds. 86-56 for the home team. Making a move is PJ. A beautiful pass to Holder, who just jams it down home. Wong wanted to shoot that, but just wanted to pass it off. Joshua thinking about it. Turn around. What a beautiful pass behind the back, but Simon doesn't get that to go. Behind the back. Euro step. Nice move by O'Neal. O'Neal gets that one to go. There's Frank Thomas. To Holder. PJ gets fouled up on the plate, and he will shoot 2 from the line. 3 and 3 fouls for both teams. Halfway through, just short, so it's not 12-minute quarters, it's 10-minute quarters. So we have 5 minutes, 53 seconds remaining. So a little bit of foul issues from both teams, but the game is in the hands of the Colts. So not too much to worry about. Here's PJ making good of the first one. Taking his time. And for the Wolves, it's just about reassessing, and it's off to the next one, right? Can't hold back on a loss. So as for the Colts, they've been going on a 4-game winning streak, which is very impressive to see in this part of the league. Here's Joshua. Sudani just passes it off to Darius Ryan. Gets fouled up by Teixeira. Ryan doesn't like the call. It's going to be Darius. Inbounding it gets deflected off by Albert. So he's going to go again. Here's Darius. Passes it off to Albert. Wong. Pass it off Darius. For 3, and it's good. Darius just absolutely gets it a go. Swats it out of bounds, and that one just got swatted big time. So here's the Wolves. Stepped out of bounds. So Colts ball. Here comes Joshua. Ryan just goes through his man. Offensive foul. So that will be, a defensive blocking foul. I thought the ref pointed the other way, signaling an offensive, but Ryan will be shooting 2 from the line. Ryan. He did shoot 2, he shot 1, so here's Albert. Albert making a move. Here comes PJ. Sorry, it was to Aiden. PJ to Aiden, but just got disconnected. Ryan, I believe it's going to be a 2. Here comes Teixeira. Down to PJ. Darius guarding PJ. So here's Teixeira getting double teamed. Triple teamed. Aiden finds a shot, but isn't what he intended it to be. As Akeem picks the rebound. Josh getting double teamed. Kicks it out. Back out Sudani. Oh! He wanted to send that to Mars, but just a little bit too much contact on that. But you know, this whole place would have erupted if he posterized the Wolves player down there. But Sudani has absolutely been dominant. Didn't need him basically after the second quarter. Just the Colts just been in control of the entire game. So excellent player Sudani is. Goes up for the second one. Just a bit short. Holder smacks it out. So Colts possession. Colts. Joshua, 3-ball. Here balls it, but Ryan gets blocked as well. So great defensive presence from the Wolves. Here's Albert, makes a great step through. Joshua. Ryan. Here balls it, but he called alley-oop, so we're not going to count that as a shot. Here's Albert. And here is Sudani. Look for something special, and he jams it down. Wow. That's what he wanted to do the first time around. But he makes it. He gives it to the fans. Brown. And Joshua dribbling it up, fouled. So that will be bonus for the Colts. And I'm not sure what they're going to do with the scoreboard because he may touch 100 points. So we might have to bring the old manual number flipper if necessary. But it's going to be Joshua at the line. 4-2. And a lot of substitution being made in. So both teams calling quits. And a timeout has been awarded. So we will be back shortly in 50 seconds. So we are back, and it's Joshua at the line just to, get this game over with. Makes good of the first one with 99. Makes good of the second one, so it squeezes in. The 100 points just squeezed in. So Colts force another turnover. So this is going to be Jalen, a starter for the Colts. So both teams just putting substitutions into the game. A 3-point attempt. Great layup, great finish by Akeem. Out for the shot in the lane. The Wolves players. So here's Akeem going in. Passes it off! And jams it home is Jalen. So a lot of dunks, a lot of stuff to get the fans into this. And it's triple teamed. Is the Wolves player, but just tosses it up last second. And gets that shot to go through. Here's Akeem again. Wow, he's just super effective, really athletic. And gets that one to go. Free throw is going to be awarded to the Wolves. A great drive in by Aryan. So in the last minute, 26 seconds. We're going to see some free throws and probably a couple more possessions to close this one out. So a second attempt for Aryan and makes good of that. Here's Jalen. Jalen going in. and wanted to do something very acrobatic there, but got fouled in on the play, sorry, offensive foul. So bit of a messy play. Here comes Aryan. Inside pass to the Wolves, gets cut off by Jalen. Hakeem calling for it. You know, he wanted to probably slam that home, but it doesn't go his way. 3 ball for the Wolves. In and out. Kind of rims out, not even in and out. And regardless of the fact, would have still been the Colts ball. Stepped out of bounds. So it's going to be Francis inbounding the ball. Timeout has been called, so we will be back in 50 seconds. Team's gonna inbound the ball into Mateo. Here splitting the defense. Great strip by the Wolves. A beautiful pass by Webster. So Akeem just falls down on the play. Travel on Akeem. So 26.2 seconds left. 2.2 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. The Wolves attempt a 3. It's a bit short. Up for the layup and gets the and one is Webster. So he'll shoot one more. So thus far a great season for the Colts. Making great use of their games. And I believe their only loss here is Akeem! Jams it home. Let's look at that. 3 ball. And oh boy. Akeem want to do it again. Doesn't get it to go, but an absolute stellar finish by Centennial, leading 108 to 69. And for Centennial fans, we will have the Colts men's basketball team playing St. Lawrence on the road. And for the volleyball, Wednesday, 26th of November against Georgian. Tune in at 6 to 8 p.m. And for the Colts, extending their win streak. And for St. Lawrence, it's about just bouncing back. And it was a great broadcast with producer Leo. I'm your host, commentator Danish, and we will see you next time. Thank you.